Hi everyone, it's Shannon and welcome to my channel, The Daily DIYer. You all have seen my dining room setup here within my she shed. That usually is my filming and my crafting spot, but I also really enjoy decorating it too. And since this year, we are hosting Thanksgiving at our house and we're only having a few family members over just because of the circumstances this year. I really only need to bring in a few extra chairs and this space is going to work fabulously. And thank you so much to Cricut for sponsoring this video. Thanks to them, I was really able to up my fall decor game, really take something pretty simple and basic, add some personalized embellishments that really made a big difference. So I'm excited to share that with you today. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So here's a look at the space before I started adding some special little touches, and pretty much this is just all stuff we already had around the house. The place settings are actually all from Dollar Tree minus the placemats. Those I got for 75% off at Hobby Lobby, but we're going to add some special little touches to these to really give them some extra personality. We're going to be starting with this vinyl starter kit by Cricut. If you have not tried vinyl yet, this is a great way to get started because it comes with all the tools that you need along with vinyl and transfer tape and even a few designs to get you started. Now for these first two projects, I'm going to be using the black vinyl, white vinyl, as well as the transfer tape and the tools that come in this kit. Because my sign on my mantle says thankful, grateful, blessed, I wanted to keep that theme for my table settings. So I had already had this file in my program. I'm using the font Magnolia Sky for all of these. Once I had the thankful sized right, I just duplicated it 4 times because I have 4 plates I'm going to be adding these decals to. Once I was happy with it, I went up and hit make it, and this will insert all of those files onto the cutting mat display. I like to sort of adjust these around. They usually clump them all together so you save space within your vinyl, but I like to space mine out because it does make it a little bit easier when we go to weed. Now I have my Cricut set up to Bluetooth so it's not plugged into my computer, and once it connects, it will prompt you through the next few steps. Next, I headed over to my machine and made sure that the dial was set to the vinyl setting. I added my vinyl to my cutting mat, inserted it into the tray, and then pressed that blinking light that loaded it into the machine. Then once my Cricut button started blinking, I clicked that, and that's what gets the machine rolling. It's actually a lot of fun to watch this little guy work, and when it was finished, I just unloaded the cutting mat from the machine and then removed the vinyl from the cutting mat and used my Cricut weeding tool to weed out all of the parts I did not want. Then I accidentally pulled off the tail of one of my thankfuls, and I really wanted all my plates to look the same, so I went ahead and cut another thankful decal. Here I'm using my Cricut transfer tape. I cut it down to size so I didn't waste any, laid down my decals, and then put the transfer tape over the top, took my squeegee tool over them, and then cut them all apart. Then it's super simple to add those decals onto your surfaces. Make sure they are dust-free and cleaned before you apply them. I just rubbed it with my finger first and then took my Cricut squeegee to them. You want to very slowly remove that transfer tape off of the top, and then you're left with your beautiful design on your plate. So I just went ahead and continued this process for the rest of these plates. Then to continue this theme, I decided to add another decal to the front of my wooden box. Again, I'm using the font Magnolia Sky for this with a design that I already had created. So to make this to scale the size I needed it, I made a square, unlocked it, and then adjusted the size to about what I had available on my box, and then I drug my design into that rectangle to make sure that it was scaled to what I needed it before removing that box and then sending it over to my machine. For this decal, I am using the white vinyl from my vinyl starter kit. I will make sure to link all the products that I'm using in this tutorial down in the description box. You can find them there. Next, I just loaded it into my machine, clicked that Cricut button, and it was off and running again. Now the process of weeding and applying this decal is the same as the first project that I worked on. However, we're going to be adding this to wood instead of the ceramic like the plate. And that's the great thing about vinyl is you can add it to so many different materials, including plastic and glass and mirrors. So lots of different things you can create using vinyl. And then I took my box back to the center of my table, added some Dollar Tree styrofoam to the inside before piling up some pumpkins and adding in more of my eucalyptus. And that's all there is to this simple centerpiece. I do have a tutorial on how to create this wooden box, so I will make sure to put that up in the iCards and down in the description box below as well. So now we have thankful and grateful, and now it's time to add blessed. I'm going to be using these dinner napkins I found at Home Goods. They're only about $1 each, so really inexpensive. I went into my design space using the font Magnolia Sky. I ungrouped all of the letters, adjusted them, regrouped them, and welded them together. Created another box about the size that I needed for my napkins, scaled my design within the box before deleting it and duplicating each one of those designs. The most important part of this is we are using a heat transfer vinyl, so you want to make sure you mirror your design before you send it over to your machine. Now you want to make sure that your machine is set to iron on for this, and you want to add your heat transfer vinyl pretty much upside down on your cutting mat. So the shiny side will be down and your matte side will be up. And then you can go ahead and click that flashing Cricut button, and that will get your design cutting. Now this material is completely different than the traditional vinyl we used earlier. It is more of a stretchy type material, and it actually is not sticky at all. But what is sticky is the plastic backing, and that's what's going to help hold our design onto our fabric. I'm going to be using my Easy Press for this. This is the 9x9 size. I have it set to 315 degrees and 30 seconds because it will count down for us. I actually used it like an iron first to press my napkin so it wouldn't have any wrinkles. And then I went ahead and folded it up like I wanted it whenever I was going to be adding it to the table. And now to add the design, I preheated my fabric up for 5 seconds, laid my design onto the fabric where I wanted it. I'm using a flour sack towel as a little protector over the top before putting the Easy Press on top. You click a little button, it starts counting down for you, so you don't have to count your own. You just know whenever the time is up and it's time to remove the Easy Press from the top. Then you can flip it over because you want to also add heat to the back. That will help set your design into the fabric for 15 seconds. Then you want to let it cool off just a little bit, peel it while it's warm, but you definitely don't want to do it while it's still super hot. So once it's cooled down a little bit, you just remove that clear plastic from the top to reveal your design. Now my table was really coming together with all of these special little touches, but I wanted to add something special to the mantle as well, so I decided to cut some leaves out of some craft paper cardstock. So I designed a maple leaf style leaf and scaled the paper down to an 8.5 by 11 size, which matched my cardstock size, before sending these over to my machine to cut, and making sure that my machine was also set on the cardstock setting before letting it go ahead and do its thing. I decided I wanted different sizes of leaves, so I cut 3 different sizes, 2-inch, 2.5-inch, and 3-inch square size. They just pop right out of your cardstock. And then I also decided I was going to use some regular sticky tack to apply them to the wall. That way they don't damage the wall, they easily go on, and they easily come right back off. And I also wanted them to have more of a wind-blown look, so kind of a random pattern above the mantle on the wall, but sort of like a swirling, like the wind had blown them. So that's kind of what I was going for. I started with the larger size first, went down to the medium size, and filled in with the smallest size. This was such a fun design and look to create, and it was so super easy and quick to do too. All of these projects were actually really quick to make. You can add these special little touches to your own table in an afternoon. Super duper quick and easy. Thank you so much again to Cricut for sponsoring this video. I will make sure to have those links to all the products I used in this tutorial down in the description box below. If you have any questions at all, please leave those down in the comments below. I would be happy to help you down there. If you would please give this video a big thumbs up for me, that helps out my channel so much. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe for weekly DIYs, tutorials, and new inspiration. Also hit the bell and select all so you're notified when those new videos go live. I'll have even more ideas and inspiration popping up on your screen for you that you can check out next. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye everyone.